When I was like 19 years old, I was with my mom. We were staying at my best friend's house. And my sister, she lived like at another place around the corner from me. That time, it was really hard because my best friend, he was really cool. But his brother was racist. He did not really like me or my mom. There would be all kind of really bad incidents that would happen in the house. And I remember one moment in my life where everything just went like shit, you know, everything just went really bad. I found out that he had did some stuff that he shouldn't have did, so I had to leave from that house, and I ended up moving in with my friend. I had no money, I had no food, I had nothing, you know. Dancing is the only thing that I've been consistent in. I used to be good at skateboarding, I used to be good at basketball, I used to be good at singing, I used to be good at all these different things, and nothing filled that passion like dance. Before I graduated, a friend of mine gave me a flyer. It was my 18th birthday. He gave me a flyer. It was for a rave. And I was like, okay, I want to go, you know, I want to check it out. So I asked my mom, she was like, yeah, no problem. So I went to this rave, and that was the first time I saw people dancing, and dancing because they loved to dance. They didn't care about anybody watching them or anything, they were just dancing. There was no judgment, you weren't getting judged because you didn't look good. These people were going crazy. And I was like, dude, I want to do that too. I went back home after that party, I got on my knees and I prayed to God, and I asked God if this is what's supposed to happen in my life, then to move the people around me so I can do it. Yeah, and then from there, it was just practice every day, 8 hours a day, like work. I took it very seriously. That time, my job was graveyard, so I would work from like 7 p.m. till like 4 or 5 in the morning, and I have to do the same thing every day. Trying to get up to go practice was hard. And I would still try to practice. I would practice at work during graveyard shift and stuff like that. And then every day practicing, waking up, practice, go get my sister from school, come back, practice, go to the club, come back, and every day was the same routine, you know? Yeah, and it was just because I loved it, and I was actually able to do it, and that taught me appreciation, you know, being able to dance every day and being able to try to grow from that. I entered my first battle, which was in 2008, and I almost made it past the prelims, and I was like super happy. It's like, wait, what? I didn't think I could even halfway make it. So I was kind of like still trying to enter all these different competitions and all these battles. I would lose like semifinals, best 8, like always losing. And so I kept trying to enter all these battles, and I talked to, I think it was either JJ or Kid Boogie, but I talked to one of them, and they asked me to be a part of Machine Gun Funk. At that time, for me, Machine Gun Funk was one of the crews that I looked up to as well. I didn't immediately be like, yeah, I'm down. It was kind of like, I sat back and I really thought, prayed on it, and wanted to make sure that that was like something I wanted to do. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do that. People were a little bit surprised that I was in that crew. Also, those people didn't really like me at that time too. Like the younger generation didn't really like me because I wasn't really taking the steps that everyone else was. I was kind of like doing something different. So yeah, so I would still enter battles, I would lose, and all this, people didn't really like what I was doing. But I just kept very focused because my goal is to be better than I was yesterday. And my goal is overall to be the best that I can be within myself. Like I want to see myself reaching heights that I couldn't comprehend, you know. That's how I view dancing. You know, for me, it's limitless. There's so much you can do with dance. So I would just keep pushing, even like if my crew wasn't practicing or anything with me, and I would still try to push as hard as I could to make myself better. And in 2009, Bionic Man asked me to do IBE. That was like a really big time for me because that was something overseas. So now the world can see what I'm trying to do. That trip was crazy. When I got to IBE, my luggage was lost. That was the first overseas trip I've ever been to. I was super excited. I was like, yes. And I had like not so much money, so I put packages of food and stuff in my bag because I didn't have, you know, I didn't know what I was gonna eat. I didn't have a cell phone that time. And I remember like going there and trying to call my girlfriend on a payphone because my luggage was lost. and trying to complain to somebody. And she's like, it's okay, don't worry, that means something good's gonna happen, you know. She's very positive and very uplifting. And I was like, okay. So I just had my headphones on. I was trying to really focus because I wanted to shine. I wanted to be as good as I could be on that stage. Got ready. I prayed before I got on stage and I danced. And I was more surprised after the battle, after the whole exhibition was done, when they recorded the video, because I wanted to dance as good as I could that time. So when I saw the video, I cried, because I felt like I actually did what was in my head, what I was imagining myself doing, I was doing on stage, and that never really happens. And there was tons of people in this. There was I wasn't nervous, I wasn't scared. I was just so focused on performing as good as I could. You know, afterwards, people were like, who are you? From there, that's when I started getting more business. Like, people wanted to fly me out to teach and stuff like that. I started getting more hate as well after that. And then all these things started to come in. And I was like a little bit discouraged at some point, because it was coming from like people that were higher up. So sometimes I would get a little bit, oh man, maybe I need to change my style. I tried to revert to what they wanted me to do and started finding myself not being myself. But the one thing that I've always had throughout my whole life is I've always had faith. I've always believed that no matter what, it's gonna figure itself out. Even in the crappiest moments, $0 in my pocket with my suitcase in my hand. But I always believe there's always something that's good that's gonna happen. So the lot was actually to go there and practice every night. And a friend of mine, he was like, yeah, dude, you should teach classes in the lot. Why don't you teach classes out there? Many people are so superficial with like how dancing should be. It should be in this studio. It has to be good. It has to be like nice and fancy. And he was like, dude, just do it. Who cares? I'm pretty sure that people want that. You should do it. You're out there anyway every night, you might as well try it. And I was like, okay, you know what? Fuck it, I'll just do it. And I remember like putting a post on my Facebook and just being like, hey, I'm gonna start teaching classes. If anybody wants to come through, everyone welcome, it's gonna be $5. And for like a year, I had 10 people that would show up. And after that year, like 10 more people came. And then a few months later, 10 more people came. And then it started to get something bigger. It reached the point to where like one of my classes had 40 people in the parking lot. And I was like, wow, it's a lot of people for a little class. Once it reached a certain point with people, I just used that money and I would either take them to my restaurant to eat pizza, or I would just order pizza to eat for the students after the class. It wasn't really about the money. It's always been about trying to like share, and then I grow too from teaching, you know? So it's like a win-win for both parts. I was trying to like do something constructive with the dance community. I guess I started to think what else I could do to make this bigger. So I was doing it at this place called The Cleaners, because this parking lot specifically ended up going under construction. So I was like, okay, I need to find a new place. And since then I've been doing it at Creatington. And also I started the first event there because I wanted to start doing events as well, like battles. I started thinking about like starting up a crew as well with like more new generation dancers, because I wanted to try to also use what name I have to help other dancers to come up. Because I think, you know, the way the dance world is if you don't know who this person is, you're not gonna look at it. So sometimes it takes someone that has a name to put these people out, and then people focus more so on. And not just that, it was like because of how I grew up dancing and how much hate I had towards me and people not trying to focus on me, I wanted to help not guide them in a way where like I'm controlling them, but more like helping them with my experiences before to help them to grow, so they know what to look out for and they know what type of things that are ahead of them. And I wish I had something like that when I was starting dancing, because there was a lot of stress during that time. So I figured that I could help get back to the community in that way, and also try to create an event that's like unbiased with the way it's structured and stuff like that. Making sure that everybody has a chance to win, and it's not about money or about winning, but just the fairness of that event.